Liked you better with glasses.
Too bad. I like me better without them.
Hey, pretty fans. Welcome to another bonus episode of the Better with Glasses podcast. I am your host, Vicky Basalia, and with me is Casey.
Hey.
And today we're here.
Well, we got it's 4th of July.
So yes, happy 4th of July to everyone.
Since the last time we posted, which was
literally yesterday,
there's been some new scenes that have come out, and people have communicated with Better with Glasses that, hey, are you guys going to talk about these things? So yes, of course we will. I think there's some rather pivotal scenes and scenes that people want us to.
Where did we leave off?
So
what was the last scene?
Conrad and Belly walking off the beach after their kiss.
Okay.
What was it? Wait. You have a crush on me?
Wait.
You have a crush on me?
You have a crush on me?
That's it.
So, it was less aloof and more sarcastic. Nice.
Yeah. So that was the last scene.
Yeah.
And what else? There's something else. The Amazon Premiere thing.
Yeah.
Vicky's got this hack that she found out about. Talk to him about a potential way to watch season 2, episode 1 and 2 earlier than the rest of the universe.
Yes. So if you follow us on Better with Glasses Pod on Instagram,
definitely a hack.
I found, so actually shout out to another fan who was sharing that apparently near wherever she is, the Cinemark that's in and around her hometown was talking about advanced screenings of The Summer I Turned Pretty.
2 or 3 days before.
Yeah. So I wake up, I see it, and I go on Cinemark and I can't find it. So then I'm like, maybe it's not a Cinemark thing, right? Maybe it's a select theaters.
They pick whatever one that's in the town.
Exactly. So I start Googling and I find, by the way, didn't even know about this. So if you are an Amazon Prime member, their movies and some movies and definitely a lot of their shows, there's something called Prime Premiere.
Prime Premiere.
Yeah. Which is where they allow for an advanced screening, a couple days or a day in advance of the actual release, and they play it in theater.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's major.
Yeah. So if you happen to stumble upon it by clicking the link, you can
add it to your calendar.
Yeah. And it added to my calendar for tomorrow. So we're on the East Coast US.
Yeah.
Add it to my calendar. So apparently tomorrow at noon, I can click on the link and reserve tickets.
We're hoping to get something within a 5-hour radius of our house. But I'll drive that far. North Carolina, Wilmington. Boom. Forget about it. That would be sick if they did it in Wilmington. Pennsylvania somewhere. Yeah. Virginia.
Up and down.
Hometown. But yeah, I would like, something within that radius. That would be cool. We can make that happen.
I think that'd be worth it. That'd be so fun.
Yeah, I mean, just to track it and record it and document it for the fans and to have that, it would help with our getting the early episodes out. That's for sure.
That's true.
We'll have a jump start on what's going down.
I know. So other than that, we just got to jump into these scenes.
There are some scenes, and then there's one thing that I'm going to hit you with after that.
Okay.
If we don't touch on it.
Okay.
It's something that you woke me up about in the middle of the night.
Oh, we're going to talk about that too.
Right.
Oh, we're definitely going to talk about that.
Okay.
Which I'm going to say right here, right now, if you have not read book 3 of The Summer I Turned Pretty, we will probably be going into some book 3 spoilers.
I've listened to book 3.
He loves book 3. Loves.
Listen. What am I if not
all right,
audiobook lover?
Yeah. Let's cue this thing up and you and I can refresh ourselves on what it's all about.
Cue it up.
All right, here we go. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm wearing my Team Jeremiah shirt because it's a Jeremiah scene. All right.
What about my Team Cousins rowing shirt?
That plays too.
Comfy as all get out.
That's great. That's not a comfort color, is it?
No, it's not a comfort color, but it's American Eagle, and that thing slaps, bro.
Nice peachy color. All right.
Yeah. Great for summer.
Ready?
Get you one.
Ready?
Get you a swaller.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah. All right, let me go first. I think that conversation is exactly how you would expect that conversation to go. I think that if
I agree.
a lot of the fans out here were to have this situation happen to them, all the words that came out of Jeremiah's mouth could have come out of yours. I think it's very realistic.
Mm-hmm.
And the throwing the cancer thing in, it's not fair, but Conrad's also feeling that. And
he says a lot of things.
He's like going through a lot. He fought his brother last night. He found out his mom is sick again. And now is finding out that his girlfriend is kissing his brother.
Yeah. And they're a we.
Yeah, and they're a we. So it's like a lot's coming at him at this time, and he's kind of allowed to go off.
He went off.
Yeah,
I mean, that's simply put, right? He went off. And when you go off, you say things that when you're in a non-emotional state, if you had time to think through your words, you don't say.
Mm-hmm.
And it was unfiltered, but I was DMing with a fan. And what did I say? I said it's just like true human emotion.
Yeah.
Right? Like how would you rather it play? I would be disappointed almost as a fan if Jared was like cool with it and didn't stand up for himself.
100%.
Or I would be so upset at Belly if she instead
hid it.
Mm-hmm. Right? And just started like two-timing
both of them.
Yeah, two-timing both of them, which we've seen that in shows before.
Never have I ever.
Yes. I would also be mad at Conrad if he was like, keep it a secret, pretend nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
Like, don't consider his feelings. Like all of that, the fact that it had to happen and that it did happen just is another testament to the great writing of the show.
Yeah, I got a couple of things. Do you think in the real show there's going to be expletives?
Yes.
Because in this clip that we just watched,
yeah,
there's no nasty words.
Oh, you think it's going to get nastier?
I don't know. Is there going to be an F-bomb thrown in? Is there going to be...
Man.
Do you think they're just keeping it clean for the ads, or do you think there's going to be any?
If I was Jeremiah, I'd probably throw in some expletives.
Yeah, no, and I think we've seen Jeremiah throw in expletives every now and again in season 1.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's just in the heat of the emotions of it all. He said some shitty stuff.
Yeah. What do you think the dynamic is in that house afterward? Do you think Jeremiah goes and finds Conrad right away and is like, bro, we got to talk. We got to rap. Let's go get our boogie boards and...
Yeah, like what's...
Or he's going to fight him again like he did at the dance.
Or he's just going to stay locked up in his room, and then Belly is going to go downstairs crying. She's going to see Conrad.
He didn't take it well.
Yeah, right? I mean, imagine, like... And Conrad's going to be like, how did you think he was going to take it?
I'll go talk to him.
I'll go talk to him. And maybe, I don't know, maybe at that point, like Jeremiah's gotten time to think through it, and he's probably still pissed and will be pissed for a very long time, but maybe he's just kind of like, you do you.
In the back of his mind, and he says it, you finally got what you wanted.
Yes.
In the back of his mind, he maybe knew that this was going to happen.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, sometimes you have thoughts and they're not good thoughts and you push them down and you just don't say them. And he says a lot of things that you shouldn't say to Belly, right? So like, I'm not forgiving him there. 99.9% accurate on it. He's calling her out.
Yeah, no.
But I'm not saying that she deserved to be called out. So there's a difference there, right? I don't think she deserved to be called out, but he is calling her out in a way that is pretty authentic.
Yeah.
To not just to what she did and to the summer and to the fact that a week ago they kissed. It's true to their entire relationship growing up. And we already talked about how as a younger brother, older brother dynamic, Jeremiah has been carrying this baggage for his entire childhood. Even Belly said it. Everybody in that house knows that I've had a crush on you.
Sure. And I don't think she can't be like, when he says, you got what you always wanted, I don't think
like congratulations.
I don't
Belly.
think he can be like she can even be like, no.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
it's just like,
no.
okay, yeah. So it's like where she messed up is making all these definitive statements of I don't want that, but everyone like whatever you say, we all know what is the truth here, Belly.
Yeah. Well, you know what it also does is it kind of muddies what happened at the end of last season.
Mm-hmm.
So Conrad wants to tell Belly his feelings. She says, no, don't.
Mm-hmm.
She says, you really need somebody right now.
Mm.
And I don't want to be somebody who takes advantage of that.
Yeah.
He says, I don't just need somebody, I need you. She says, I don't want you to need me. I want you to want me. He says, I want you. They kiss. I believe Conrad, but the fact that there is that undercurrent of very high emotions, he's been alone in his thoughts and his feeling this whole time. He probably wants the comfort of Belly. He loves her, but wants the comfort of her. But I think the interaction with Jeremiah is also Jeremiah saying like, yeah, well, he needs somebody, right? Like maybe he's just coming around because he's in an emotional state. Ever thought about that?
Yeah.
Which will end up blowing up, right? So, a lot of Conrad fans were giving Jer some heat, right? Like, oh, like you see how he treats Belly. I think that if you are Team Conrad, you also tend to give him a little bit of grace in similar moments.
Jeremiah as well.
Yeah, and I think you gotta give that grace to Jeremiah as well.
Give it both sides.
Because I made a joke of it and we kind of had a laugh over it, but when he threw out the cancer line, so like that one, I'm like, oh, I can't believe, like a little bit of cringe. I can't believe he did it.
Yeah, because it's not what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to get like a sympathy point.
Right. But it was just funny to me because the irony of all of that is it wasn't just another guy, it was his brother. So I'm like, I could easily be like, Conrad, Conrad's mom's got cancer too, you know?
So it's like you shouldn't be trading love for simple I'm gonna kill myself if you don't do this.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So gotcha.
Right. Which again takes us back to that finale scene where even Belly was like, I don't want to take advantage of this.
Everyone's in a real raw spot right now because it's the worst news you can get.
Yeah.
The worst news. Let me say this. We got Jeremiah. We think we know when this is happening. Belly leaves. How soon is he maybe going to talk to Conrad that's coming up? How soon is he being like, yo, Steven, remember we had that talk yesterday morning when you saw me and your sister kissing in the driveway? Well, now you can't just be mad at one of us kissing your sister because now we both have kissed your sister.
If Belly, I'm sorry, if Jeremiah,
that's like the worst. Steven's got to be like the most heartbroken out of any of them. If
Jeremiah and Conrad don't talk, I think that Jeremiah and Steven talk.
Yeah, because
I think that Steven is probably going to give Jeremiah some advice so that Jeremiah can let go. I don't think it changes his feelings. I think he's still pissed. I think that the brothers' relationship will never be the same. But I can see Steven being like,
dude, we all knew this.
We all knew this.
Yeah.
Like it's a little bit unbelievable.
That's why I was
for all of us.
Yeah, that's why I was so surprised when it was you and Belly kissing.
Yeah. And it's maybe Steven is just like, let it run its course.
Or maybe he's like doesn't want to talk to any of them because I've never had a sister, but I know most of my friends that have sisters are very protective of their sisters.
Oh yeah.
So you don't want anyone kissing your sister, let alone your best friends. So
I think this is where the fallout starts to happen. So okay, there's that, but
everyone just wants to avoid each other. I don't think they want to fight each other. They just want to avoid each other, maybe.
But then Steven says like, I should be talking to Conrad and Jer right now, but nobody's texting me back. So yeah, however they're leaving Cousins is
I'm excited to see it. I'm definitely excited to see how that plays out.
Well, we see when they're driving away, Belly's just kind of like hanging out the window looking. And it's even tough for her because her and Conrad just were having a very happy mood, but she's not going to kiss him goodbye.
I know, like in front of everybody. And we know this new thing about Susanna now, so it's like a lot of the stakes are higher in this season. And I don't know who said it, but after that scene came out, everyone's like, season 2 is kind of sad all around.
Season 2 is, well, all the actors have been saying it. Lola's been saying it forever. She's just like, as actors, I'm excited to be able to play these character story arcs out, but it's a different tone.
Firework.
It's a different tone. Oh, what did Sean and Chris say?
Oh, something. First, season 1 was Barbie. Season 2 is Oppenheimer.
So far,
which is literally the fucking atomic bomb movie. and this is a great segue. So I think that they are, because the material is a lot more serious in season 2. It's a light scene and it's a happy scene. And at first I was like, oh, they're just playing the hits. But with all the serious material, I think they need to be inserting some of this lightness and freshness and happiness.
I told you the dinner scene, season 1, is what carried that stuff forward, right? It was like, oh, feral alley cat. Yes. Like Taylor is like, oh, I remember when blah, 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 Summer, you two dared you two to pee in the fireplace. It reminds you that these people have history. Actual history. Facts. Or Taylor comes down with the balloons and it's like, oh, do you think she'll call you Jeremy again? Right? So like this group of people, despite all the recency, have been together for a while. So let's watch this.
All right. All my takes coming rapid fire.
Okay.
First of all, I said I thought it was a retread of a very similar tenor of something in season 1. It is, but they needed it because of the seriousness of a lot of the content.
Oh yeah.
Next thought: Taylor's voice is a lot. It sounds more grown up, more mature.
Just the way that she's talking, it
doesn't have that like
less flirty. Like
yes, it's not as flirty. It's more like rounded out and mature. Like I mean, I think it's hard to deny it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Third,
but
ain't no one beating Conrad in Hoop Shoot or whatever this game is that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anyone that can beat Conrad in the Hoop Shoot.
Yeah.
And maybe Belly did. Do you think Conrad was letting Belly win back in the day if she was beating his ass? Are we sure it's Hoop Shoot?
I think it's Hoop Shoot.
It could be skee ball. Skee ball. I can.
What?
Skee ball.
No, I know what skee ball. I know what skee ball is, but who has turned? I don't know. I think it's Hoop Shoot because there were some leaked photos.
Oh dang!
From them filming, and it's Belly and Conrad at the Hoop Shoot.
So they got some history there. I think I would take, if we were placing bets, if we were in Las Vegas and we had to place bets on who would be the best Hoop Shoot player out of the 6 of those or 5, however many.
Yeah.
I would take Conrad.
You would take Conrad because of the book and because of what they've said about his character, or you would just take Conrad?
Hoop Shoot. The bigger the hands, the easier the Hoop Shoot.
Casey, by the way.
I love Hoop Shoot.
If we go anywhere, movie theater, arcade, random
bowling alley,
bowling alleys.
What's the fun one with the arcade?
Dave and Buster's. Yeah. He gets so excited when he sees Hoop Shoot.
Love Hoop Shoot. Now.
So you think Conrad?
I think Conrad would
but is it because he's described as being good at everything and like good at games and athletic?
Division I quarterback.
Okay, yeah.
But I could also see my man Conrad, him and Belly have this history.
Letting Belly
win. And that's a kind of a cute thing.
It is cute. Yeah.
Or maybe Belly's just dirty at Hoop Shoot. We don't know. She's a dirty volleyball player.
She's great.
Dirty good.
Yeah, dirty in a good way. Not she's throwing out.
Yeah,
Conrad. Well, actually, maybe because Steven's like, yeah, well, Belly and Conrad got too competitive, and
while we're throwing out personal stories here, Vicky was banned from playing Monopoly in her childhood home because
my mom, Asian mom, right?
Yep.
Like shout out Laurel, banned me from playing Monopoly.
I don't know if she was so competitive or a sore loser.
Both.
They kind of are intertwined there somewhere.
Both. But
so that was the new scene. What are your instant reaction?
Instant reactions. I love the material they gave Chris Briney this season. Just from the glimpses of it.
I'm gonna have to agree with you there.
Like it's too sugary.
That's a great line.
That one, like
you could not do it.
You could not do. Like he's in the middle of eating his ice cream. He doesn't even acknowledge. He doesn't even look up. He's just like, you could not do that.
You call him out in front of everybody.
I know.
Just call him out in front of everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think his
like even you made fun of it, but like you have a crush on me? Like he's got more to play around with inside of this character.
Well, I think if we're gonna give him all the grace for season 1, like in his feelings because his mom, right, and that's why he's off.
Yeah.
Some time has passed,
right?
Maybe he's getting more back to his normal self.
Yeah. Who do you think the teams are? Conklins versus Fishers? Because if like good. Belly and Conrad are anchoring their teams or whatever, or do you think it's mixed?
I think it's a one-on-one tournament.
Oh, okay.
So I think the winner of Steven and Jeremiah plays the winner of Belly and Conrad, and then whoever wins that is the champion.
Can I tell you my one thought though?
Shoot.
It might be because I have this t-shirt on, but I think I told you. I think I told you I'm like,
give Jer some love.
Give Jer some love, man.
Some athletic love.
Give Jer some athletic love because I know my boy Gavin can act his ass off in that other scene that we talked about, but also is athletic. Like
I'm good at being bad at volleyball, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb based on some pickup volleyball that I've seen him play and just say that he's probably athletic. Now Chris Briney is athletic too.
Yep, D1 quarterback.
Well, no. Well, that's Conrad. But no, Chris and Sean played baseball or whatever. Like I'm talking about in real life.
Okay.
So I'm like
athletic.
So I feel bad that that Gavin has to keep playing down because of the brother setup and losing all of these games just because Conrad's always been better.
I think that Conrad is the more athletic one and Jer is the more teen beat heartthrobby one.
Yeah. Like lighter.
Does Conrad have a 6-pack? Jer's earned that, but right.
And they say that in the first season. Right? They're like, oh, Jer has better body. No, she's saying it to Steve.
Oh, he beefed up, right?
Yeah.
So I think Conrad is like Jer admits that he's not Conrad. He's not the athletic guy.
But my point in all of this is we watched him just like make a fool of himself.
Tiger beat, not team beat.
Yeah. We watched him make a fool of himself playing volleyball.
Yeah.
Belly, who now we know why there's history. We know that both Belly and Conrad are ultra competitive people.
Oh,
when she brought him in, she's like, no, we're going to win.
And it was like Jer understood. Yeah. So there's that history there.
Yeah.
So I think it's part of Jer's character.
It's like ringer. Yeah, like let's bring in the ringer.
Jer's not supposed to be as good at sports.
Well, you brought it up. He said to his dad, right? There's I'm not as good as Conrad is at football. So I don't know. Part of me is just like maybe
throw him a bone.
I
think the bone that he gets is like
Belly.
He's like the lifeguard.
Belly at the end of the season.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. We'll see. Okay.
Oh, this last thing. Our power went out last night.
Yeah.
I got woken up at like 4
wait.
in the morning.
No, it was not. It was not 4 in the morning.
5 in the morning?
No.
6.
No. Okay.
Far away.
All right. Well, yesterday, there's this other thing that dropped. So shout out Belly and the Boys.
Belly and the Boys.
Yeah. On Instagram.
I know.
Who I love her post because she said I legit spent like 3 hours. It was 3 or 5. Either way, it's crazy. Trying to track this down for you guys. And shout out. It's an Amazon Prime ad.
So like sometimes I assume when you like go to Netflix and you leave
not Netflix.
I know, but when you go to Netflix and you leave the scroll on a title, it starts playing the trailer or the ad, whatever.
Yeah.
So how it was presented, I tried to do it, I couldn't figure it out. You go to Prime and then you leave you have to keep refreshing the Summer I Turned Pretty page. And eventually it starts playing these like it's trailer, but it's not the official trailer. It's like
ads. Yeah, like a commercial.
Yeah.
Like a commercial.
With new content that no one's seen.
Yeah.
Which is the most next level. This is like
it is crazy.
There are some really good investigations and sleuthing in this fan base. It's amazing.
Yeah. The fan pages, like I don't think of myself as like a fan page or us, right? Because we have the podcast. I try to share everything that I see, right? Number one, just because I think people like to see it. Number two, to give some love to the actual fan pages.
For sure. Everyone does a ton of work.
Yeah. And number three, people who follow us on Instagram will probably know what we're going to talk about because they will have seen it, right?
Sure.
But I say all this because inside of that clip, now that first clip, which is my favorite of the two, there were two kind of like different ads. The one that I keep playing over and over and that I shared with you was very like Team Jeremiah. So you have a Belly voiceover saying, I've always thought about Conrad, but Jeremiah's always there for me.
For sure.
There's Taylor saying, I saw you guys on the boardwalk, right? There's something there. There's Belly and Jer holding hands before the Tower of Terror drops.
Yeah, comforting her.
There's a voiceover of Jeremiah saying, I've always heard all of my life, Conrad for Belly, but maybe I can get the future or I can get, the rest. So it's set up for Jer. There's this scene in there where he's like, it's like a piggyback.
Yeah.
And he's spinning her around, which is from the third book.
Gotcha.
She's like going to his frat party with him and she's in heels and she doesn't want to walk across campus. So he's like, hop on. So the piggyback thing is from the book. I didn't know this until another fan page clipped that photo. And you can very clearly see in the background Finch College.
So,
which is
translation here. In this season 2 advertisement, there is a scene from Finch College, which in theory jumps ahead to the third book.
Yes. Which in theory jumps forward to begin with. So my tiny little brain, right, the way I was processing what was going to happen this season was very tunnel visioned.
Yep.
And you and I even said it. We're like, oh, book 1, season 1, book 2, season 2. I hope they get a season 3 so we can see the book 3 stuff.
But we didn't have any perspective going into season 1, and a lot of things changed. So going into season 2, you think you know what you're going to see, but there could be an alien invasion. We don't know.
Yeah, right. We are at the mercy of Jenny Han.
So there could be some book 3 stuff worked in here, and there could be some Finch College stuff, which there obviously is.
Yeah.
Or they're throwing us off. Curveball.
Yeah. Well, it depends on if you get how much of it you get, right? So how much of you get it's one thing.
Yeah, and I'll never forget, Jer goes to Finch College before.
Exactly.
Belly.
Yeah, because he's going to graduate and go to college before her.
Yeah.
So he's already there. So yeah, so it could be his time in college.
Where she's wearing heels, is that while she's in college or no?
Yeah, that's after they're both in college.
Okay, so interesting.
But
maybe
they're dating. They're dating.
So
they date for 2 years.
Check out the game here.
Okay.
College visit.
Well, yeah, no, that could be it too.
Maybe he's not enrolled yet. Maybe it's like during this high school year where they're going to visit college.
That's true.
How far away are Finch and Brown?
I think Finch is in Pennsylvania.
Finch is not real, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's not real.
Okay. We're just spitballing here.
Yeah, we're just trying it out. Yeah. Anyway, we have no idea. what that's about. But it does, if anything, it reminded me and humbled me
that we
know nothing. Right? And it's fun, guys. Like don't get me wrong. It is fun to come up with reactions, to listen to reactions. I will tell you that as soon as that was released, a lot of people that I've interacted with have used the word nervous. And I hadn't processed it yet. I was like poking you at 1:30 in the morning, like, oh my God, there's gonna be flash forwards. Oh my God, like we're gonna see book 3. And it's also a nervous energy. Like it definitely gave me some nervous energy.
Yeah, I think the thought was that it's gonna end up with
Jeremiah.
Yeah, but we don't know that.
Well, but not just that. I thought it was gonna end up with her choosing Jeremiah. Like the motel scene thing.
There's how many episodes? 8 or 10?
8.
There's a lot. These are hour-long episodes. There's a lot that could happen.
I know. So, but I guess I'm excited to not just have it end with Jeremiah, but to actually see them together as a couple. Sure. Interesting, right? That's going to have to flash forward even a slight bit, I guess. And then it puts into perspective something that you know, and some of our fans know, I've been trying to figure out since the trailer released, which is this Conrad scene. So it's the Conrad, I don't think I'll ever get over you. And Belly, I think about you all the time. So that scene, I've been trying to place that scene. I'm just trying to guess where it happens. And I couldn't place it. But if there's some sort of future state,
it could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere. It could be anywhere. So, because there are deviations from the book, right? So
yeah,
him confessing actually that he loves her doesn't happen until the 3rd book.
That's gotta happen sooner. Right?
Yeah. Him saying, "Don't pick him, pick me," literally happens in almost the last chapter of the book, and he says it to her the night before her wedding. Spoiler alert. I'll leave out who she's getting married to, but and here they're putting it moments or minutes after they had their first kiss ever. So there's book content, but it's being spliced in all over the place, and yeah, just super humbling that we don't know shit. And
you want to talk about the potential alien invasion stuff?
I think we'll leave out the alien invasion, but so as soon as we saw Finch College, like now I'm in a whole different mindset.
You want to tell them your trick?
What trick?
On kind of mapping out this episodes.
Yeah, so
it's a great trick. I give her a lot of credit.
Yeah, so now that I know anything can happen, right? I was like, oh shit, maybe the motel scene or whatever is not the last scene anymore. Maybe that happened somewhere else. So I go to IMDb.
Yep.
And they have season 2 up on there. So you go to IMDb, look up Summer I Turned Pretty.
And then you could see each episode, the cast, and on the cast it gives their title.
Yes.
So it could be like funeral director or high school coach or college professor. So that kind of gives you hints as to what's happening in the episode. And you also see when the recurring characters come back.
Yeah.
And Vicky said that Cleveland Castillo didn't come back until like later in the season, like episode 5.
Episode 4, Love Game, is where Cleveland appears.
And only episode 4.
And only episode 4. Yeah.
Damn. I think they might be together still, but maybe a long distance thing, and this is the only time that.
Maybe.
I hope so. Those kids.
Or that's the flashback episode, right? And you see what happens to those 2 crazy kids. Anyway, where we're going with this is I'm seeing things differently, and I'm getting more creative now that my brain isn't just stuck in book 2. I went to episode 8, which is the finale, and just kind of looked up to see who was in it. So when you go to IMDb, you see Belly, Laurel, Susanna, Conrad, Jer, Steven, Taylor, all the main people.
Ty.
Then you see a bunch of other people who don't have names.
All right.
Okay. Now, you do see somebody listed as Marcy. And for all I know, Marcy could be Lacey. But
Lacey Barone has entered the chat.
Lacey Barone has entered the chat. No, I'm just kidding. Motel clerk.
Oh, because that's where they're staying at the.
That's a devastating scene. Devastating.
It's great. I'm excited to see it because we didn't see him on the road so much. I love road trip movies, shows, all that stuff. So, and we didn't see them on the road much at all last year. It's kind of all in a contained space at the house. So to see them on the road in different places besides Cousins, I'm down. It's going to make it a lot more like a regular show as opposed to a contained Cousins Beach thing.
Yeah.
Even though I rep Cousins Beach.
Well, even like I said, even the flashbacks, flash forwards, like all of it, it's just going to have a whole different feel.
Sure. All right, guys. Thank you so much for checking us out. Keep running those numbers up. Y'all are listening, and we appreciate that. And that's why we're, trying to stay on top of everything.
Share with your friends because that's all I do in life, right? Like every single
listen, they have.
I ask all of my friends if they watch The Summer I Turned Pretty.
She does,
and if they don't,
she asks every person.
And if they don't,
you look.
I ask them. Yeah, I ask them to watch it.
She's a great she's a great ambassador of the show.
I love it. It's great.
There you are. Better with Glasses Pod on Instagram. betterwithglassespod@gmail.com for any questions, comments, concerns. Check the link in the description. You can go check out our merch. They're awesome. We'd appreciate it, and they look really cool. Yeah, we did the designs ourselves. And we own some of them, and they're comfortable as all heck. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.